Alright, hello everybody and welcome to some more Sonic 2, but not the same Sonic 2 you saw earlier. This is the Game Gear. Can't really say Game Gear version, the Game Gear game, the 8-bit game. Completely different from the other Sonic 2, as you are going to see. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Everybody's favorite. Yeah, the game that's only 3 stages long for a couple people, myself included. Alright, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, first up, spin dashing has not been implemented in Sonic games yet. It was not implemented until Sonic 2 Genesis. So our fastest way of moving around is what you're seeing here, which is roll jumps. This is pretty much roll jump the game. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you like the jumping sound. Not the only sound you're going to be hearing a lot of the speedrun. Doing a little glitch there to advance the timer. That's going to help us right here in this lovely score countdown. Enjoy! You're going to be hearing this a lot. So 20 seconds or below you get 300,000 points. One way you can avoid this is by pausing after you hit the signpost and unpausing, and the score or the timer will actually continue running, so you get a smaller time bonus. It's not useful in a speedrun, it actually hurts you because it's timed in-game time. Come on, Spring. But it helps y'all with your ears, so you're welcome. This is for you. So because this is the Game Gear version, it is a little dangerous. You always want a bit of marathon safety, so I'm going to go up here and grab this not at all hidden Chaos Emerald. Now the reason I'm getting that is that grants me a continue. In theory I shouldn't need it, but I'd rather have it and not need it, not use it, than need it and not have it. Nobody wants a game over. Ah, heck, who am I kidding? A couple of y'all would probably be laughing, but I wouldn't. And so, I made a mention on 3 stages earlier. This is that 3rd stage. This is a stage a lot of people could not get past in their childhoods or adulthoods. Myself included, and it's part of why I decided to speedrun this game. I did have this game when I was younger on the battery-guzzling Game Gear, keeping Duracell and Energizer in business. Could not get past this. It's not that bad in the speedrun, because as it turns out, what feels like a random boss, it is not random at all. So, the pattern you get here is based off of the timer when you get here. So I know exactly the pattern I'm getting on these balls. Now, a big difference between this version and the Master System version, on the Master System version, while the balls are still random, they have a consistent bounce height, and it's to the point you actually don't even realize it's random. There's only one reason I know it's random, because I found out it's possible to get 7 balls there. But anyway, back to this. I knew where the balls were. It was easy to avoid. And that was the Antlion, everybody's most hated boss. Easy. So now that I did that, I'll die on the easier stuff. It's typically how it goes. So, life after Underground Zone begins with Sky High, and the next boss that I failed at as a kid, the few times I got past that boss, the Hang Glider. It turns out it's really easy to use, and it's also skippable. That spring is not skippable. There we go. I'm going to probably regret this. I will give it 1 attempt at skipping this Hang Glider. Because why not? That was bad. Alright. Hey, extra life. I jumped way early there, so you have a 2-frame window to make a jump there, and skip needing that hang glider. If you fall all the way, you fall into a pit that is not actually bottomless. Pits in this game don't just kill you like you'd think. It's as if you're standing on spikes. So that's how to use the hang glider. You just have to tap left a couple times. If you hold right, you're going to nosedive straight to the bottom. And that was Sky High 1. Of course, Sky High 2 is going to look exactly like Sky High 1, you know, same design and everything, right? Wrong. This becomes a theme for a couple levels. So, going to roll off that, we're going to miss the cloud I wanted. You know what? Yeah. Let's just take an intentional death there and try that again. Because you don't want to see the bottom route. Also because I don't actually know the bottom route. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. Here's the Chaos Emerald. That is, in my opinion, the hardest emerald to get in the best ending run. And even that's not too bad. So I'm not going to do the pause glitch here because it's pointless. We're still getting 300,000 points. to that lovely score countdown. Oh yeah, embrace this. And onto the Sky High 3 boss stage. This boss can be a little bit tricky. Biggest thing we want to do is stun lock it. Lock it out of attacking. But first, we gotta get to the boss. The boss has 2 phases. The first one is going to be these little chickens that come out. And then we have these eggs. I purposely left that first egg just to make it easier to do this. So I'm hitting him quick enough that he doesn't attack. If he attacks, he fires a... I don't want to call it a missile. Laser missile, if you will. That will home in on you. And it's very difficult to avoid, so you just want to make sure you get your hits in before he has a chance to attack. And that was Sky High. We are already a third of the way through this game. See that 25-minute ETA? Hopefully we're destroying it. And here to Aqua Lake Zone. Some amazing music. Honestly, all the music in this game is really cool. If all goes well, we're going to get a nice little ending here. Going to roll down this slope. And... did not. Okay. All good. We got almost a backup. Oh, that's bad. Alright, so... didn't get the ending I wanted. Almost got the backup as long as you land on this side. Unfortunately, I got hit by that arrow and pushed into the spikes, and when that happens, your best bet is just to go left and take that spring. If you try and go to the right, you're just going to end up dying. It's not worth it. And once again, you know, because Act 2 has always looked like Act 1, we get this. This stage, I love it in the Master System version. I hate it in Game Gear. I have an audio cue here. So I waited for the 8th set of rings, hit right, put you in position to land on that enemy and skip a spike pit, as well as get a lot of speed. If you do not get that, you have to grab an invincibility monitor over on the left, and it's just so much slower. Especially because of the lag. There is a considerable amount of lag in the stage. By the way, you can control those bubbles up, down, left, and right. Speeds up, slow down, moves. If you hit anything with the bubble, it pops, you lose it, and over here you actually need it. Cannot lose it here. And now onto this dreaded hallway of dropped inputs. You can press the jump button 100 times. Cool bubble, I did not need that. And maybe get a jump. So I want to make sure I take all of them out. And this varies a bit from the Master System version. You have to take the bubble all the way up here because of the water level. In Master System, the water level is not this high. And now one of the worst jumps in the run through this fake wall, jumping over that gap. If you fall down that gap, I am so sorry. Fake walls are a bit of a theme in this game in a couple levels, and that one there just skipped a horrible portion of this stage. It is bad. You never want to see it. Aqua Lake Act 3. Not too much to say right now. The boss is fought a little bit differently than the Master System version. One thing about some of the bosses here, specific to the next two, is that they have additional attacks compared to the Master System version. I'm going to speed this up a little bit by doing that jump right there. Normally you have to do this. Bounce on him, wait for him to do that. And I still do, I forgot to close Twitter, I still do have to do that a little bit. Just because of the lack of screen space here. Alright, one more hit. There we go. That seal can be a pain. On this version, if you stand too close to him, next to him, he will do what has been dubbed the tail whip, and just kill you. Alright, let's close you out. There we go. How good, Arctic. There is a Master System version, same game, but, you know, 75% more screen space, and you can see what you're doing. At Green Hills, I really like these stages. I'm glad they're not at the start of the run, because every Sonic game seems to have Green Hill at the beginning, or some sort of it. If you made it this far, here, have some extra lives. Don't ask why the ring spelled end. This stage should not be your end. So I gotta go for that. Couldn't get a jump there. It's easier in the Game Gear version, I found, to take the bottom route here. There is another route. I could have gotten 2 more extra lives, but in theory, I shouldn't need them. I might regret that come Act 3. Green Hills Act 3 is one of the dumbest stages I've ever seen. Especially on Game Gear. If you've never seen it, you will understand why here in about a minute. But first, Act 2. Act 2 is not too bad. Not a fan of this beginning. Okay, got to jump off the very tip of that, meaning I got to keep a huge amount of speed. And I got to slow it down here a couple times. And do that. I love the looks of that. This stage is another easy emerald to get, but we're not going to get it. We're not supposed to get it, but let's see. Okay, we're not getting it. It's right above us there. And it's nice in that if you miss it during a best ending run, you can just go back and retry. This game can be forgiving, believe it or not. Maybe not every stage, but on some of them. So, Green Hills 3. Most of what you don't see is spikes. That's the best way to describe this. So going for a jump there. Let me count real quick. Should put me on a spring. Perfect. So, oh! Whoa. Okay, went a little quicker than I meant to. So yeah, most of what you did not see is spikes. So imagine missing one of those springs. And this boss is one of 2 RNG portions of the game. I missed a hit there. I could have gotten a second, but I bailed out. I do not want to die on this boss. So right here where he jumps across and then goes back down, he cannot do that in the Master System version. That is exclusive to Game Gear. It's like it just really wants to punish you. But it's really easy to die to that boss. Depending on the cycles and what he does, you can get 1 or 2 hits in. 2 obviously being the best and the fastest. That wasn't too bad RNG. I did miss a hit, but it's also because I knew if I went for it, I was going to die. I don't want that. So on to Gimmick Mountain. Gonna take this spring up and go around some of these pinwheels. Wee! Yes, missed that bomb, and we're gonna grab this invincibility, and this is going to allow us to skip another large portion of a level. Coming up in just a few moments. Gotta go fast. Gotta jump, Sonic. Please jump. So we're going to jump around here, curve back. You're meant to go all the way to the bottom left. Whoops, we're alright. Go away all the way to the bottom left, and go up an elevator type system, and then take a minecart all the way back down to this area that destroys the spikes, but we don't need to do that. Take the invincibility, and as long as you're quick, you're fine. Gimmick Mountain 2, if you're ever interested in collecting all the emeralds, this one is probably the most hidden in the run. It is right here to our left. Through a fake wall, you're not going to see it in this run. Sorry. But you are going to see me fall there, so let's try that again. Not much I could do there, unfortunately, with how I landed. You don't want to fall down here. It is a huge time loss, although you can climb back up. Don't want to go up there. And we'll see if I can get... So you can do a frame-perfect jump off those spikes and avoid those bombs. It's, well, frame-perfect, so... not a big deal. God, we are going fast. Already on to, one of the worst stages in the run. Not because it's difficult, but because it's this game's version of an auto-scroller. Gimmick Mountain 3. So, of course, because it's Act 3, it's a boss stage. You do not want to die here, because if you die on the boss stage, you gotta go through this horrible, horrible stage again. I'm taking this part a little bit safe. So, this is what makes it an auto-scroller right here. This platform. This is our buddy. It's our version of a companion cube. Now, you don't want to let it leave you, because, by the way, it tries to crush you up there. If you let it too far off screen, it will despawn, and you have to die. I've had it happen. It is not a fun experience. And soon, hey, we're here at the spring, and now we're finally at the boss. After 42 seconds, I'm just gonna let him pound the wall, try and get some quick hits in. There's a couple different ways you can do this boss. This is how I prefer. You do want to be careful if you're going for those quick hits, though. And yeah, you're supposed to, if you don't hit them quick enough, you get those falling rocks. Really easy to accidentally get hit by them and die, because again, it's Act 3. For some reason, you don't have rings. I think the developers of this game just hated the people that played them, and went, hey, we're gonna make it so you never beat it. But guess what? We beat it. We're almost done. Just like that. There we go. Just like that. We're now off to the final stage in the any percent route, Scrambled Egg. What a name. I don't get what it is with Sonic games, classics, and egg in the name. You got Scrambled Egg, Sleeping Egg, Crystal Egg. Something fun you could do here, roll into that pipe and roll uphill, gaining speed. It's kind of funny how that works. So see it again here shortly. So hold right. The gimmick of the stage is it is a maze level. You're in these tubes, and a couple of them are a maze. You need to know which inputs to enter to get through, which directions, as we roll uphill again. For instance, right here, we're going to go left, left, then down, down. And I'm going to try something here that I still do not fully understand on this version. This works perfectly on Master System every time. I'm holding left, coming into the spike pit, and hoping... Nice. Okay, so that platform just despawned on the right side, reappeared on the left side. For reasons that are still unknown to me, because on Master System that works perfect every time, sometimes it just doesn't work on this version. And that's a pretty significant time loss, unfortunately. That was Scrambled Egg 1. Shout out to the music, by the way. This game really does have some great music. One of my favorite themes is the boss music, specific to the Game Gear version, because on the Master System version, it's just not as good. It's different. I don't know why. Alright, taking it a little bit easy here, because that can happen. That's why you roll jump. You can actually see I didn't do a roll jump there, it did not go as far. That was lag eating all of my inputs. That is why I take it easy in this section. Unfortunately, I did not take it easy enough. So, I'm gonna take the top route in this stage. It's the route I prefer. There are a couple other ways of doing it. Unfortunately, the fastest way of doing this stage is not faster on the Game Gear version. It only really works on Master System. So, we're gonna take this loop, and we're going to go around that loop, and you might not understand why, is because that platform right there is the same one we were on previously. It is not there if I do not take that loop, or if I don't wait long enough, because it hasn't had a chance to come over to the left side yet. And we're already off to the final stage. Now you might think, oh boy, Scrambled Egg Act 3, if this is the final one, it's going to have a difficult boss, right? I promise you this boss is one of the easiest I have seen. I'm not going to spoil who it is if you haven't seen, but you might recognize him from a casual playthrough of a different Sonic game that came out much more recently than this. First we got to get through this little spring maze, if you will. Slow ourselves down right there, jump into here, and if you've played Sonic Mania and gone through Stardust Speedway, you might recognize Silver Sonic. So, this is why it's so easy. You can just bounce into him like that, and you're not going to die. If you're like me, you're also going to miss a hit because you mistimed the jump. Cool. This boss is also RNG, so this has been an okay pattern. Whoa, I got way too close to dying there. By the way, it's almost time already. 2 more hits. That has not been the cleanest boss fight, but it got the job done. There goes Silver Sonic. And in just a moment, there is time. And that's what happens if I don't press a button to speed up that timer. I was speeding it up for you guys. I could have made it take ages longer. Again, I did it for you. And that's Sonic 2 Game Gear. That's all there is to it. Really not that bad. This game has a bad reputation, I think mostly because of the Antlion. It really isn't that bad to run, especially if you do the Master System version. I definitely recommend checking it out if you are interested in 8-bit games or classic Sonics. It is I legitimately enjoy this game. It's one of my most fun games to run. This is the bad ending, unfortunately, if you've never seen it. We're not going to go through the whole thing here, but unfortunately, I have some bad news. Tails is dead. We have killed him. We did not rescue him. At the end of this, Sonic's going to look up at the sky and just see the image of Tails, the buddy he left behind. We'll have to leave him behind until we do best ending. And speaking of that, I know y'all have seen the advertisements. If you do want to see the Master System version of this game, or the other category, Best Ending, I will be running that at Next Level Speedrun Showcase, which will be featured on this channel next month, May 17th to 18th, along with lots of other great runs and streamers. So, if you're interested to see the differences between these, remember this run, and be sure to catch us then. But that is it for me. Coming up next, the final game of the Sonic block. We've got Sonic Adventure 2 with Conkles. So stay tuned and do not go away. Thank you for having me. I hope you enjoyed.